I told you I'm on a Michael Shannon kick, right?
Yeah.
There was Michael Shannon and Jay Duplass in a movie on Netflix that I could have watched yesterday,
Whoa.
and I was like, "Oh man, it's such a hit!" But I ended up watching this, and yeah,
Do you regret watching this instead, or?
um, no, we will discuss it.
You're listening to the all-new CultureCast, Chicagoland's finest podcast. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the all-new CultureCast. I'm your host, Nick.
And with him is the Gorehound.
Hey, Gorehound. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me once again
Yeah,
on our wonderful, greatest episode ever.
yeah.
Since our last week's episode, we've not gotten any emails, so unfortunately we don't have any emails to discuss. But that's okay, because tonight we are talking about I don't know what you'd call it, an internet phenomena, or a cult, a viral internet video, I guess would be the best way to go as it got start here.
Short movie available
Short,
on Netflix currently.
yes, on Netflix and on YouTube. So if you don't own Netflix or don't have a subscription, you check it out there, and probably other video streaming places. The 2015 Kung Fury, which is, from what I'm looking here, I guess it's a Swedish-based film, which
Okay.
lampoons and parodies 1980s martial arts and police films, and it pretty much throws everything into this, including the kitchen sink, as I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah, yeah. It's certainly odd because
Yeah.
it's not like anything else that you've really watched.
hmm
Um, but yeah, it is only 30 minutes or so long, and so it's almost like a single TV episode you could think of.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, if you wanted to sit down and watch something quick, you can do this, and you won't have to like dedicate an hour and a half to 2 hours to a movie if you just want
Right, right.
something to come up. We should say it is a comedy. It's a parody of those older '80s films.
Hmm.
When I first watched this movie, it reminded me so much of Black Dynamite.
Yeah,
Not, I mean, it's a Black Dynamite's a very different film, but the approach they took with Kung Fury is very much the same way the approach that Black Dynamite took towards the black exploitation films of the '70s. There,
yeah.
um,
Where you're just so self-aware with it
yeah,
that you just,
uh huh,
just bleeding self-awareness.
yeah, and everything they do right, they get it pitch perfect, and everything they do wrong, they're doing it intentionally. So it's truly um, a lot of effort went into this film here.
Yeah. But what do you say we just talk about the plot because there's a lot to talk about, but
Yeah, for a 30-minute movie, a lot actually happened.
right, right.
Um,
But basically, the story is this guy Kung Fury is a legend of Speak, and he's basically going back in time to kill Adolf Hitler.
mhm.
And so he goes back in time and he meets all these friends, and comes back to save the day, save the world from Hitler. So it's pretty simple, but
It goes in so many directions. Like
right.
it starts off with an arcade machine that's attacking people, and I think isn't it going to like kill like a dog or a cat or something at the very beginning?
I don't know. Oh yeah, yeah, that Nazi machine is gonna
Yeah,
kill a dog, and he comes in, and yeah,
and then uh, uh, Hitler comes from the past to kill Kung Fury, and Kung Fury teams up with Hacker Man,
yeah.
and Hacker Man sent him back in time, but too far back in time, so he meets Vikings and Thor and
Hmm.
and dinosaurs, and it's crazy.
So initially, what did you think of it? Did you enjoy it?
I did. It was so weird. You couldn't not look away.
Hmm.
It's just so crazy, and I think the people in charge is David Sandberg, who was the writer and director, really was trying to amp up the crazy factor to 11, and he succeeded in that. But it never goes too far where it just loses you completely. At least for me, anyway.
Hmm.
What about you?
Um, it was very enjoyable, but I did have a few issues with it.
Okay.
I really don't like these short episodes.
Mm.
Like the movie, like anything that I watch has to at least be an hour and a half. And if it doesn't, I kind of feel like it's just another TV episode. And I really don't like that. Because I like to be really engaged in pretty much anything that I watch where I feel like, it's not just sit down, watch it, and then get back up.
Hmm.
I really like it to be long. So there was that. And there was just some aspects of it, like in the beginning when you had the tracking issues. Um,
Oh, like it was a VHS tape?
Yeah, that kind of set me off on a bad note.
Really?
Uh, but the rest of it, it was fine and it was really enjoyable to watch. Um, I was kind of expecting kind of like a Robot Chicken type
Okay.
thing, where it's just like really short, funny scenes, one after the other.
Okay, not like a whole plot that lasted the 30 minutes.
Right. So I was happy that it wasn't a Robot Chicken, and that it did have more story to it. Um, but yeah, all the elements that they brought in was fantastic, and I would love to see more of this because it's there's just so many things to grow off of here.
Well, I have good news for you on that one
Yeah,
because,
is there a sequel slated?
well, here's the thing. Because this one proved to be popular and it got a very good critical reception, they are looking to expand it into a full length feature film.
Okay.
And who knows when that's actually going to take place, but I guess they are working with it, working for that. This is where I think you and I might disagree. I liked Kung Fury. I liked it, how goofy it was. I don't think it could necessarily sustain an hour and a half to 2 hour movie.
Yeah.
I think the 30 minutes was just enough, and I mean, like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I think the joke would play itself out if it was an hour and a half long. I could be wrong. If they do make a
Yeah.
full on movie, I'll check it out, and I'll be happy to revise my opinion on that. But I question the decision.
Yeah. But yeah, because elements like the the girl, Barbariana, I thought that was brilliant.
When they had like the swords
Uh,
and sandal type fantasy epic they jumped into there.
yeah, like Galaxina and Barbarella. I just think those are such cool characters, and I'd really like to see people more characters like that, where
Hmm.
they're just the name just invokes just this awesome image that I think you can really have a story built off of that. And the Triceracop,
Yeah,
it was awesome.
I love how Triceracop has a British accent for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, but it was like this could honestly be like an '80s movie
Uh huh.
with something like that, and it was it was really good.
Hmm. The if there was one thing I could criticize about the film is that it stays really it's insanity, but everyone in the movie plays it straight. Like
Yeah,
there's no like winking at the camera or anything. Except one thing, I wasn't a big fan of the Thor character in that he was too much like look at my pecs.
yeah, that line I was like, it kind of just broke me away from him.
Yeah, it felt very out of place because like everything else is just so they are in character and it works. But yeah, the peck thing was just
Yeah,
kind of like I don't know.
yeah, but I like that it wasn't like it's just a typical Marvel Thor. You
Oh
actually
yeah,
got to see
you got
like
the
something that
mythological Thor.
right, and I really like that.
I'm honestly surprised they went with Thor, given how people really associate him with Marvel.
Yeah,
Um, and they didn't pick another Greek god or something, but it worked. And that's not a criticism, just an observation. That's all.
yeah.
I do love the line during that Viking section where uh,
They were selling the phone.
that was pretty good too. But when I can't remember which one of the two girls it was. Maybe it was Barbarina or Katana. I don't remember which. But
Yeah.
when they said like you're in the whatever period, and he's like, oh, that explains the laser dinosaurs or something. Like he says it so nonchalantly that
Yeah.
it's great. I mean, another movie would have like winked at the camera like but
Right, right.
this one, yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I can never get enough of making fun of Hitler because Hitler is an awful human being, and so if you're going to lampoon him, I am all for that, and
Yeah.
they do a really good job here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The Kung Fuhrer, like it's so
Yeah, that name.
ridiculous.
Yeah, because so the script was so brilliant because everything just fit right in it.
Hmm.
You're like, how has nobody thought of that yet?
Yeah, yep, exactly. And just the pure insanity, like when Hitler takes the phone and he's shooting his gun through the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Let me ask you this: what did you think of all the green screen in the movie or in the short film, whatever you want to call it?
Um, I didn't really notice it. I mean, I figured the entire thing was CGI. So,
Yeah, I mean, I was reading about it after I'd watched it, but apparently, pretty much everything in the film is done on a green screen with computer effects. I guess they only had like a cast of like 3 or 4 people or something like that. It was really small. And for example, when they're in the police station, it's like the same actors again and again and again that play
yeah,
multiple police officers with
I
like
didn't notice that.
um I didn't notice it either when I was watching, but I read it, and it was just a cool way to get around the limitations in order for them to uh,
Yeah, and
make the scene seem much bigger.
yeah, and one of the last fight scenes where you just have that side scrolling.
Oh, like it's a video game almost.
Yeah, yeah, that was brilliant because I was like, that totally looks like what you would see in Mortal Kombat 3.
Uh huh.
And it was,
Yeah, I like that too, and it just kept going on and on and on. This film had a lot of creativity in its um, cinematography and its direction style. So I
yeah,
gotta give props to them for that.
yeah, and for some reason it still hooks me because, I was just caught watching Mortal Kombat 2 the other night. It's just because there's some things that, I don't know, just connect with us. And you can't really do anything except watch it.
Um, yeah.
What was your favorite part about it?
Um, I gotta say, one of the things, I don't know if this was my favorite part, but to go back to what you were saying earlier about the tracking stuff,
Mhm.
I kind of like that. Only because I'm glad they didn't overuse it, but
Right, where it's only in the intro to
yeah,
set the mood.
yeah. One, yeah, it sets the mood. It makes it feel like it's a worn out videotape. But two, which actually also helps hide some of the CGI elements. So some of the CGI might look a little dodgy. It works because it has a grainy look to the film. But also because I like that part is they were able to skip over good portions of the fight scene with the arcade, which probably would have been really expensive for them to do. So
Yeah.
instead of trying to do it and fail, they made a joke out of it. And to me, that succeeded. I like that part.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm amazed they got David Hasselhoff to make a cameo in there too.
Yeah, when you had first mentioned this movie, I thought that it was the Hasselhoff um, True Survivor thing. And so I was expecting, like David Hasselhoff to be the main character. Um, but I'm glad that it wasn't because that would have just been excessive.
Hmm.
And I think that Sandberg really did an awesome job at portraying, the typical action star
Hmm.
with every stereotype you could
Yeah,
associate with him.
I love the when you first meet him and he's with his girlfriend on the couch. He's like, "Yeah, it's my bicep."
Yeah.
It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, but that is true.
Uh
That's
huh.
exactly the look that they give.
I love the flashback when the ninja kills his old partner,
Yeah.
and the partner just splits in two, and his tongue just comes out of his mouth.
Yeah.
I don't
Just to
know.
defy logic.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why I like that so much, but
Yeah.
it was just this film has a lot of images that stay with you. Again,
Yeah, yeah, certainly.
yeah, which again I question if they make a blow this up to a longer movie if they could really sustain and be successful at it. But
I think that they can. There's just so many parts to this, and as long as you don't go overload and still actually keep a story,
hmm
I think that they could do it. But my favorite part was definitely Hacker Man. He was, because I remember I was like on Instagram and there was like some photo of this guy, and I thought it was just. I honestly thought that this was from like a '90s VHS videotape.
they nailed the look of the time period.
Right. But he totally reminded me of the Lone Gunman from X Files.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like all three of them combined into one person. um, but yeah, I would really like to see more of him, and his role was so good because that was exactly what hackers were.
They thought that's what people thought that's what hackers did back then.
Right, right, and it's a shame that they don't still
Yeah.
do that.
I love it how in not to go off the topic, but
Yeah.
back in the 80s and especially the 90s when movies started to incorporate computers as plot elements and how computers back then can do anything.
Yeah,
Like a couple of clicks, I'm in the CIA mainframe and I could do this and this and that. And
yeah,
nowadays, you can't really do that because I think more and more people are savvy to how computers and the internet kind of work.
yeah.
So,
You have to be more logical.
yeah, so you don't get that, but this movie it goes straight back to that where computers can do whatever the screenwriter needs them to do.
And actually, that reminds me of Johnny Mnemonic with Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna try to find that one because that's what this reminded me of.
So I don't know if you're aware, but we were talking about this with what do you call it? We were talking a couple weeks ago about Wolf Cop and how that movie got started through like a crowdfunding sort of thing. Kung Fury had a very similar opening with that, where it was kickstarted,
That's what it looks like.
and they got almost, what was it, 3 times their goal of their money to get whatever they wanted to make this film. I think they got close to $630,000, and their target was 200,000. So they definitely got some money there to
Yeah.
make this. And
Have you ever given money to a Kickstarter?
no, I
Oh,
haven't.
really?
Probably not. I don't know. I don't have much of a. If it's a charity thing, sure, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. With Kickstarters, I get cynical around those things. Like when the Veronica Mars movie came out a couple years ago, and people
Yeah.
were donating like hundreds of thousands of dollars towards
Yeah.
it. I'm like, really? You're throwing your money towards a movie of a canceled TV show that no one cared about in the first place, and to make a film that when you can be using that money to help real problems in the world like hunger and starvation, which is, I guess, the same thing, sort of, or poverty, and where there are real problems. But no, you need your stupid Veronica Mars movie? No, thank you, pass. But whatever.
I want to give like just $40 to something, and I just don't go on the website ever. And so I don't really know. About the only time I find out about it is like after the fact. But no, because there's some local. I'm following some not big budget directors, horror movie directors on Facebook. I'm kind of waiting to see that and throw $40 in so I could get like my name on the back at the end of the movie or something like that. But we'll see. So yeah, it was a Kickstarter, and it had the David Hasselhoff music video.
Yeah, I think that was released separately from the actual movie, but I think the
Right.
song was in the movie. Is at the very end, right?
Yeah. What did you think of the music video?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I actually saw the music video first before I saw the movie, so
Yeah.
it definitely sets the tone for what the film is about to be. But what about you? What did you think of the music video?
I don't know. I'm getting kind of sick of just these just funny YouTube videos,
Mm.
and so I'm just trying to steer clear of them. Though I did watch it, I will admit that. Um, but yeah, it was entertaining to say the least. But it won't have me coming back to it again. And there are quite a few YouTube videos where I just like come back to them routinely. One of them includes there's this Rammstein music video called Mindland. Do you know Rammstein?
Nope.
It's a German. It's like one of the most popular German heavy metal bands out there. And they're just awesome. And they're pretty mainstream. You could think of it like an American Slayer.
Oh, okay.
And they're just fantastic. And there's this music video where they're on this beach, and I usually watch it when I'm just looking for a little pick me up. So, but yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to add to this.
I think our episode's going as long, if not a little bit longer, than the actual movie itself. So,
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I thought Kung Fury. Yeah, Kung Fury. I can't talk. I thought the video was fun. It's good for what it does. If you need a quick laugh or you need something to watch on like a lunch break, check it out. I mean, you got nothing to lose. It's on Netflix. It's on YouTube. It's probably on Google Video or whatever that's called. So, I'll even put the link to the video in our in the show notes in case for those of you who are listening haven't seen it, you can check it out and then you can listen to this. Although, of course, I'm saying this now when we're about ready to wrap up, but there's that. So,
Yeah. So some succinct closing thoughts.
yeah. Do you have any final thoughts?
Not really. It was better than I expected. It's fun, but I think I'm left just wanting to watch more 80s films.
Yeah, it definitely makes you want to do that.
Yeah, because the movies are just so fantastic, and you really don't see anything like this anymore.
You don't.
Something that's fun like that.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I guess it's going to do it for us for tonight. Thank you, Gorehound, for joining me once again.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
And yeah, so if you have any emails or comments, please let us know. We'd love to do a shout out. So if you're one of the 6 to 10 people who actually bother listening to us, and if you've made it thus far, shoot us an email at we'll have all the information in our closing credits there. So, all right, well, thank you once again, and we'll catch you next time. You've been listening to the all-new CultureCast, where every episode is all new. Check out our blog, Zach and Nick's CultureCast, at znculturecast.wordpress.com, and find us on social media. Send us an email at nick.culturecast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback, comments, and requests. Theme music by bensound.com. The all-new CultureCast, a saltwater production, copyright 2015.